Good morning, students. In last class, I have studied the structure of the nephron. So, in the nephrons are the structural as well as the functional units of the kidneys, where these nephrons are helpful for the filtration of the urine. That means here these are mainly meant for the excreting of the waste materials from our body, where they plays a very important role in the kidneys. And here these having a different parts are presenting, that is we can call as the Malpighian tubule. In the Malpighian tubule will consist of the two parts. One is a glomerulus and second one is the Bowman's capsule. And the second one is a proximal convoluted tubule. In the proximal convoluted tubule, here reabsorption of all essential elements are taken place. And the third one is Henle's loop. Here Henle's loop, it is a U-shaped structure where will having descending as well as the ascending lymph is presenting. And proximal distal convoluted tubule and a collecting duct. And also the peritubular capillaries which are running parallel to the Henle's loop, they are called as vas recta. The peritubular capillaries which are running parallel to the Henle's loop, we can call them as vas recta. The vas recta and the peritubular capillaries are meant for the absorption of essential elements in the blood. So these are the different parts where we have studied in the last class, that is and also we have studied the functions of the that is the kidneys, where the kidneys main function is the excreting of the waste materials. It also acts as the water balance in the body, and osmotic it is acts as it acts as homeothermic. That means it maintains homeostasis, it maintains water balance in the body, and also ionic balance, acid base and water balance in the body, where these are the various functions which is performed by the kidneys. Now coming to the next one, that is an urine formation. The formation. So in urine formation, here the main function of the kidneys are the urine formation. The nephrons are meant for the nephrons. Nephrons are meant for a urine formation. They are meant for the urine formation. Where here in this urine formation, here it consists of the three steps are presenting. It consists of the three steps. That three steps are, the first one is called as the glomerulus filtration. The first one we can call as the glomerulus filtration. The first one is a glomerulus filtration, and the second one is a tubular reabsorption. The second one is a tubular reabsorption, and the third one is a tubular secretion. The third one is a tubular secretion. So these are the three steps where it is taken place in the urine formation. That is, first one is a glomerulus filtration, and second one is the tubular reabsorption, and the third one is a tubular secretion. So here the glomerulus filtration means the glomerulus blood which is presenting that filtration will enters into the Bowman's capsule. So from the Bowman's capsule it filtered into nephric filtrate. That filtration is called as the glomerulus filtration. It is a filtration of the blood. It is a filtration of blood into the Bowman's capsule, into the Bowman's capsule, filtration of blood into the Bowman's capsule from the nephric filtrate, from the nephric filtrate, from the nephric filtrate. So this process is called as the glomerulus filtration. So this glomerulus filtration is taken place by the two factors. The glomerulus filtration is mainly taken place by the two factors. So that what is the two factors means, first one is the nature of the blood capillaries. The first one is the nature of the nature of blood capillaries, nature of blood capillaries, nature of blood capillaries, and the second one is the pressures operated. So these are the two factors which helpful for the filtration of the blood in the glomerulus into the Bowman's capsule from the nephric filtrate. So this filtration we can call as the glomerulus filtration. So here glomerulus filtration is mainly taken place by the two factors. The two factors are, first one is called as the nature of the blood capillaries, and the second one is the pressures operated. So these are the two factors which affecting the rate of filtration of the blood. That means glomerulus blood is filtered into the Bowman's capsule from the nephric filtrate. So this is called as, this filtration is called as the glomerulus filtration. Now we will discuss the first one is the nature of blood capillaries. Later we will discuss the pressures operated by it. So now coming to the first one, that is the glomerulus filtration. First one, that is glomerulus filtration. So here what is the glomerulus filtration means? The filtration of the blood, the filtration of substances, the filtration of the substances from the glomerulus, from the glomerulus blood, from the glomerulus blood into the lumen of Bowman's capsule, into the lumen of Bowman's capsule, into the Bowman's capsule in the form of nephric filtrate, in the form of a nephric filtrate. So this process we can call as the glomerulus filtration. That is, it is a filtration of the blood. That is where from a blood of glomerulus or a glomerulus blood into the lumen of a Bowman's capsule. Into lumen means a cup-shaped structure. This is that will be filtered into the cup-shaped from the in the form of, not from the, sorry, not from the, it is in the form of a nephric filtrate. So it is called as the glomerulus filtration. And here these glomerulus filtration will favors the two factors. It favors two factors. It favors the two factors. The two factors are, it favors the two factors. The first one is the nature of blood capillaries, the nature of blood capillaries, the nature of blood capillaries, a nature of blood capillaries, and the second one is the pressures. The second one is the pressures altered or pressure operated. The pressures operated. So these are the two factors which helpful for the helpful for the filtration of the glomerulus blood. So this process we can call as a glomerulus filtration. First one is the nature of the blood capillaries. So here the nature of the blood capillaries, that means glomerulus blood will having that means the molecules which are having less than 80 Armstrong units, the molecules which is less than the molecules which is less than 80 Armstrong units, such molecules are filtered into the lumen of the abdomen's capsule. And here the blood and proteins, the blood cells and proteins, which are presenting, these are having more than 80 Armstrong, that is having more than 80 Armstrong units. So the blood cells and proteins are not be filtered, and remaining all the substances which are present in the blood that are filtered into the lumen of the blood vessels. Why they filtered means these are having less than 80 Armstrong units is presenting. So due to the presence of less than 80 Armstrong units, all the essential, that is useful as well as all essential, useful and harmful substances which are presenting that are filtered into the abdomen's capsule, into the lumen of the abdomen's capsule. So and the blood cells, which are cells are remind means the blood cells as well as the protein molecules, which are these are having more than the 80 Armstrong units they are presenting. So these molecules are not be filtered into the lumen. So here these, what are the molecules are filtered into the lumen of the blood compared, it is compared with the plasma of the blood. It is compared with the plasma of the, that is blood plasma. It is compared with a blood plasma. Why means here what is the blood plasma will contain the same components will be presenting in the filtration of the Bowman's capsule, so that filtration which is helpful for the nature of blood capillaries. Due to these blood capillaries, what happens here, it helpful for the filtration. That means the molecules which are having less than 80 Armstrong units, such molecules will be filtered, and remaining the blood cells and the proteins are having more than 80 Armstrong units. So these are not be filtered. So it is compared with the blood, that is plasma, the blood plasma. It is compared with the blood plasma of the blood. So how likewise it helpful for the filtration of the blood, that is due to the nature of blood capillaries. Next, coming to the second one, the pressures operated. Here there are three type of pressures are presenting. There are three types of pressures. There are three types of pressures, three types of pressures. So what are the three type of pressures means? First one is glomerulus osmotic pressure. The first one is the glomerulus glomerular hydrostatic pressure. The first one is a glomerulus hydrostatic pressure. The glomerulus hydrostatic pressure, and the second one is the glomerulus osmotic pressure. The glomerulus osmotic pressure, or otherwise it is also called as blood colloidal osmotic pressure also. Blood colloidal osmotic pressure. It is also called as the blood colloidal osmotic pressure. Blood colloidal osmotic pressure, or otherwise it is called as glomerulus and osmotic pressure. And the third one is capsular hydrostatic pressure. Capsular hydrostatic hydrostatic pressure. So these are the three pressures where it is helpful for the operating in the filtration of the blade. So such pressure which is presenting that we can call that as that is the three pressures. First one is glomerulus hydrostatic pressure, second one is glomerulus osmotic pressure, or otherwise it is called as a blade colloidal and osmotic pressure, and the third one is a capsular hydrostatic pressures. And now we will discuss the one by one, that is first one the glomerulus the hydrostatic pressures. Glomerulus, that is glomerulus hydrostatic pressure, the first one. Glomerulus hydrostatic pressure. So here it is called as GHP. So GHP means here the glomerulus hydrostatic pressure. It is the pressure exerted. That means it is the pressure where it is taken place in the glomerulus from a wide efferent it is taken place from a wide efferent arteriole to the a narrow efferent arteriole. So it is a pressure exerted, that is it is a pressure exerted where the flow of blood from a narrow, that is a wide efferent arteriole to a narrow efferent arteriole, where it enters into the Bowman's capsule in the form of a nephric filtrate. So this filtration is called as the glomerulus hydrostatic pressure. Here glomerulus hydro means water. That means due to the flow of a blood from a wide efferent arteriole to a narrow efferent arteriole, here it helpful for the filtration of the blood. So that pressure, that filtration of blood in the glomerulus, so this pressure is called as the hydrostatic pressure, and it is a positive pressure. It is a positive pressure. It is a positive pressure where it consists of a 75 millimeter per Nhg. It consists of a 75 millimeter per Hg. It is presenting. So this pressure is called as a glomerulus hydrostatic pressure. Next, second one. If you see in the second one, that is the glomerulus osmotic pressure. Glomerulus osmotic osmosis or osmotic pressure, or otherwise it is called as the blade colloidal osmotic pressure. So here it is called as the blade colloidal osmotic pressure, or otherwise it is called as GOP, or otherwise it is may also called as BCOP, that is a blade colloidal osmotic pressure, or otherwise it is called as a glomerulus osmotic pressure, or otherwise it is called as a blade colloidal osmotic pressure. So what is this pressure means? It is a pressure exerted by the proteins present in the glomerulus blood for the filtration of water. So this filtration is called as the blade colloidal colloidal osmotic pressure. Due to the osmotic pressure, the water, the proteins which are present in the blood that are helpful for the filtration of water which is present in the blood. So that pressure which helpful for the filtration of water by the protein molecules. That means what are the molecules or proteins are present in the blood that will helpful for the filtration of the blood which is present in the water. That means that water which is presenting it helpful for filtration. So this pressure, that means a glomerulus osmotic pressure. Glomerulus osmotic pressure means it is a pressure exerted by the osmosis through the, that means diffuse, that is absorption of water due to the osmosis. So here due to the osmotic pressure it helpful for the filtration of the blood, that is in the glomerulus blood, that water will be filtered into the nephric filtered. So that pressure is called as blood colloid. That means it is a pressure, it is a pressure exerted, it is a pressure exerted, it is a pressure exerted by the proteins, by the proteins present in the blood, proteins present, it is a pressure exerted by the proteins present in the blood and filtered and present in the blood and filters the water and filtration of, that means it is a pressure exerted by proteins present in the blood, filtration of the water, the filtration of water into the Bowman's capsule, Bowman's capsule or nephric filtrate, or in the form of a nephric filtrate. So this is called as the blood colloidal. Blood means blood, colloidal means here proteins. The proteins present in the blood is helpful for filtration of water which is present in the blood. So that pressure, due to the pressure exerted by osmotic pressure of proteins, here it helpful for the filtration of blood, the filtration of what is water present in the blood that will be filtered into the Bowman's capsule. So that pressure we can call that as a blood colloidal and osmotic pressure, and here it is a negative pressure. It is a negative pressure. It is a negative pressure. It is a negative pressure where it is a 30 millimeter per Hg. It is a 30 millimeter per Hg. It is presenting. So that pressure, that means it is a pressure exerted by proteins present in the blood for the filtration of water into the Bowman's capsule or in the form of nephric filtrate. That filtration is called as the glomerulus osmotic pressure, or otherwise it is called as blood colloidal osmotic pressure. So here it is a negative pressure and it is 30 millimeter per Hg. It is presenting. Next, the third one. The third one is the capsular hydrostatic pressure. Capsular hydrostatic pressure. So here what is the capsular means? It is a space present between the Bowman's capsule. The space present between the Bowman's capsule is called as a capsular space. So that capsular space which is presenting, it is created by the water which is present in the, that means the pressure exerted by the water which is present in the capsular space, which helpful for the entry of new molecules into the Bowman's capsule. It helpful for the entry of new molecules. So here it is a pressure exerted by the hydrostatic pressure. So it is a pressure. It is a pressure exerted by the entry of new molecules. It is a pressure exerted by opposing It is the pressure exerted by the pre-existing molecules. By the pressure exerted by pre-existing molecules in the Bowman's capsule. Capsule. That means here what is the filtration is taken place. So here it opposes the entry of new molecules into the capsule. So that pressure is called as it is a pre-existing molecule. It opposes the pressure. That means here it opposes the opposing of a new entry of new molecules into the Bowman's capsule. So that pressure is called as the hydrostatic pressure. That is capsular hydrostatic pressure. That means in the capsule, that capsule means in the Bowman's capsule, that is space present between two layers, that is a partial as well as visceral layer. The space present between the two layers is called as capsular space. This capsular space is helpful for the opposing of new molecules into the Bowman's capsule. That means it does not allow new molecules into the capsular space. So that opposing pressure is called as the hydrostatic pressure. So that pressure is called as the pressure it is exerted by the pre-existing molecules in the Bowman's capsule. That means it is not helpful for allowing of new molecules into the Bowman's capsule. So it opposing means it does not allow new molecules into capsular space. So this pressure is called as, that means the pressure or the molecules which is present in the capsular space, that molecules will oppose the entry of new molecules into the Bowman's capsule. So this pressure is called as the capsular hydrostatic pressure. For example, if we take in place, this is a Bowman's capsule. Here it is a Bowman's capsule. This molecule is preventing, it opposes the entry of a new molecule. It opposes the entry of a new molecules into the capsular space or into the Bowman's capsule. So this pressure is called as the capsular hydrostatic pressure. So this pressure is how much it is? It is also a negative pressure. It is also a negative pressure. It is also a negative pressure where it is a 20 millimeter per Hg. It is the 20 millimeter per Hg. It is presenting. So that pressure is called as the capsular hydrostatic pressure. So these are the three pressures which helpful for the filtration of the blood into the Bowman's capsule. That is a glomerular osmotic pressure as well as a blood glomerular osmotic pressure or blood colloidal osmotic pressure, and capsular hydrostatic pressure as well as glomerular hydrostatic pressure. These are the three pressures which helpful for the filtration of the blood into the Bowman's capsule in the form of nephric filtrate. So if we calculate the net productivity, that is net filtration. If we calculate net filtration, here net filtration is equal to, we can calculate now here the net filtration. Now we will calculate that one. It is a three pressures which is presenting. Now we will discuss that one. Now coming to the net filtrate pressure. Here if we calculate a net filtrate pressure is equal to, here net filtration is equal to GHP minus GOP plus capsular hydrostatic pressure. So here the net filtration pressure is equal to glomerular hydrostatic pressure minus GOP, that is glomerular osmotic pressure, plus capsular hydrostatic pressure. So here 75 millimeter per Hg minus here it will be 30 millimeter per Hg plus 20 millimeter per Nhg. So if we calculate 75 minus 30 plus 20 is equal to 50. So here is 75 minus 50. So if we see in here 75 minus 50 means here 25 millimeter per Nhg. So here the net filtrate pressure is equal to 25 millimeter per Hg. So each kidney, that means there are a pair of kidneys are presenting. Both kidneys will helpful for filtration of 180 liters of urine is filtered. So out of these 180 liters, here it is only produce 1.5 liter of filter, 1.5 liter of urine only is eliminated in the form of urine. Remaining 78.5 liter of the water is reabsorbed into the nephric filtrate or into the lumens of the nephrons. So here we are having only 1.5 liter of urine is secreted. Along with this urine, here it helpful for absorption of the useful as well as a non-essential or non-useful substances also. Here it helpful for the filtration of useful and non-useful substances are filtered. Substances are filtered. Filtrate. So here we will having useful and non-useful. Useful substances are like water, glucose, amino acids, as well as the vitamins and hormones, and also here sodium, potassium, bicarbonate ions, and also non-useful substances are like urea, uric acid, and also the ammonia. These are the both useful and non-useful substances. That means useful substances are like glucose, the water, amino acids, vitamins, hormones like sodium, potassium, and bicarbonate ions, and also urea, uric acid, and ammonia. So here it helpful for the secretion of, it filters both useful as well as the non-useful substances, are essential or non-essential substances are filtered. So here this filtration we can call as the non-selective preparation or non-selective filtration, or otherwise we can call as a primary urine. So here in the glomerulus filtration, here it is called as a non-selective process, non-selective process or non-selective filtration. Why means here it does not helpful for filtration of useful or non-useful, or essential or non-essential. Both are filtered into this Bowman's capsule from the glomerulus blood. So here we can call as non-selective process or non-selective filtration, or otherwise here it is called as the primary urine. It is also called as the primary urine. So this is where it takes place in the glomerulus, that is glomerulus GHP, that is here first one is glomerulus filtration. So it is taken place. Glomerulus filtration is also called as an ultrafiltration. Why means here both useful and non-useful substances are filtered into the Bowman's capsule, so that here we can call as ultrafiltration, or otherwise you can call that as a non-selective filtration, or otherwise you can call that as a primary urine also, where this glomerulus filtration is taken place by two factors. One is called as the nature of the blood capillaries, and second one is called as the pressures. So there are three pressures. One is glomerular hydrostatic pressure and blood colloidal osmotic pressure, or otherwise it is called as blood colloidal osmotic pressure or glomerulus osmotic pressure, and the third one is the capsular hydrostatic pressures. So this is where how helpful for the filtration of the glomerulus filtration is taken place into the Bowman's capsule in the form of a nephric filtrate. So this process is called as an glomerulus filtration, or otherwise it is also called as an ultrafiltration, or otherwise it is also called as non-selective filtration or a primary urine. Now coming to the second one, that second one is the tubular reabsorption. How in tubular reabsorption, how it is taken place, now will be discussed. Next, coming to the second one, that is the tubular reabsorption. Tubular reabsorption. So here tubular reabsorption means it is the filtration of substances, filtration of substances from nephric filtrate, into the peritubular capillaries, So here the filtration of substances from a nephric filtrate into the peritubular capillaries. So this process is called as a tubular reabsorption, and this tubular reabsorption is a selective process. It is a selective process. It is a selective process where here all essential elements, all essential elements are absorbed into the PCT, that is pistil proximal convoluted tubule. It is all essential elements are absorbed into the proximal convoluted tubule, and also other elements are absorbed in the different regions of the nephrons. So here if you see in the first one, the reabsorption in the proximal convoluted tubule, reabsorption in a proximal convoluted tubule, that is a PCT. PCT means a proximal convoluted tubule. So here in these it is helpful for the absorption of the 65% of water. The 65% of water is reabsorbed. Only a 65% of is taken place by the reabsorbed by the osmosis, by the process of osmosis. Here by means in peritubular capillaries will having high concentration than the nephric filtrate. So movement of molecule from lower concentration to the higher concentration. So here a 65% of water is reabsorbed by the process of an osmosis, and also here it is helpful for absorption of the sodium, potassium, and also all essential elements. All essential elements are absorbed. All essential elements are reabsorbed into the PCT, that is proximal convoluted tubule, like a glucose, amino acids, fatty acids, vitamins, minerals, that is salts, and also here the sodium, potassium, bicarbonate ions, etc. are absorbed, and also here all essential elements are absorbed in the proximal convoluted tubule by an active process, with the help of an active process. Here the absorption is taken place by active process, or it is helpful for the passive process. That means the tubular reabsorption is taken place by both by passive as well as active process or active transport. Here it helpful for reabsorption of substances are taken place. That is, all essential elements are absorbed in the PCT, and also along with this here 65% of water is reabsorbed in the PCT. Next, coming to the second one, that is reabsorption in Henle's loop. So here how the reabsorption is taken place in the Henle's loop means here it helpful for in a descending limb, Henle's loop 15% of water is reabsorbed by the interstitium. That means here in the reabsorption 15% of water, 15% of water is reabsorbed by the in the interstitium into the interstitium by osmosis. That means 15% of water is absorbed into interstitium by that is descending limb, by the descending limb, and also by an ascending limb. Here it helpful for by the thick segment, by the thin segment. It helpful for reabsorption of an urea. Urea is reabsorbed, and also by the thick segment. It helpful for absorption of the sodium and potassium ions of reabsorbed. So here it helpful for thin segment is helpful for reabsorption of urea, and the thick segment is helpful for absorption of sodium and potassium ions is reabsorbed into the ascending limb, and 15% of water is reabsorbed into interstitium by the process of osmosis in the descending limb, into the descending limb. So this is where it is taken place. Next, coming to the that is reabsorption in a distal convoluted tubule. Now will be discussed. Reabsorption in the DCT, that is distal convoluted tubule. So here 5% of water is reabsorbed. The 5% of water is reabsorbed. 5% of water is absorbed into the interstitium by the interstitium. That means 5% of the water is reabsorbed in the interstitium by the influence of an ADH hormone, that is antidiuretic hormone. So with the help of antidiuretic hormone, 5% of water is reabsorbed into the lumen of into the interstitium of the blood. It is absorbed, and here along with this the sodium, potassium, as well as chloride ions and also bicarbonate ions are absorbed or reabsorbed into the interstitium by the influence of hormone called as an aldosterone. So with the help of the hormone called as the aldosterone hormone, it helpful for absorption, that is reabsorption of the sodium, potassium, chlorides and bicarbonate ions are reabsorbed into interstitium with the help of hormone called as an aldosterone. Along with this, here 5% water is reabsorbed into interstitium with the help of an ADH hormone, that is antidiuretic and hormone. And also here if it is here reabsorption by collecting duct, So here in the collecting duct, here it helpful for the 14.5% of water. The 14.5% of water is reabsorbed. Into the interstitium, into the interstitium by the ADH hormone with the help of antidiuretic hormone. Here it helpful for the influence of that is 14.5% of water is reabsorbed into interstitium of an ADH hormone. Along with this here the sodium and potassium ions. Sodium and potassium ions are also reabsorbed into the interstitium, by aldosterone with the help of the hormone called as aldosterone. Here along with the sodium and potassium and also urea also will be absorbed into the interstitium with the help of an hormone called as an aldosterone. So at the end of reabsorption of substances in the that is in tubular reabsorption in this taken place, here it helpful for absorption of water. That means here 99.5% of water is reabsorbed. Why means how means here 65% is from PCT and 15% from Henle's loop, the descending part of the Henle's loop, and 15% that is 5%. That means here total 65 plus 5 70 plus 85 15 85 plus 14.5. So here 99.5% of water is reabsorbed into the lumen of an intestine, that is lumen of interstitium of the blood, that are reabsorption is taken place. How it is taken place means here already you know that 65% of PCT and 15% of descending limb and 5% of DCT and 14.5% of the collecting duct. Total if we calculate here we will get 99. That means here 80, 85, 90, 99.5% of water is reabsorbed into the interstitium of the blood. That water is reabsorbed, so that only a 5%, that means 0.5 percentage of water only we are eliminated. Water 0.5 percentage of water is eliminated in the form of urine. In the form of urine. Again here 99%, that means 1 liter of water we are taken place. So that here totally here 180 liters of water is presenting. Here only we are eliminating 1.5 liter of water only we are eliminated in the form of urine only. So remaining 78.5 liter of water is reabsorbed into interstitium of the peritubular capillaries or interstitium of the blood. That water is reabsorption is taken place into our body. So this is how it is helpful for the reabsorption of that water, that is in tubular reabsorption. So in the tubular reabsorption, here it takes place in different regions of a nephron. The water as well as the sodium and potassium ions are absorbed into the blood. This is how it is taken place in the tubular reabsorption. And coming to the last one, that is the tubular secretion. Here tubular secretion means it is reverse of a tubular reabsorption. Tubular reabsorption means it is absorption of the substance from nephric filtrate into the peritubular capillaries. Here tubular secretion means from peritubular capillaries the reabsorption is taken place into the nephric filtrate. So it is opposite to the nephric that is opposite to the tubular reabsorption, that is tubular secretion. What is that now will be discussed. Now coming to the tubular secretion. Third one is a tubular secretion. So here it is a process. It is a process. It is a process of substances. It is a process where the substances are filtered. Where the substances are filtered. Where the substances are filtered where the substances are filtered from peritubular capillaries, peritubular capillaries into the nephric filtrate. So this process is called as the tubular reabsorption. So here if you see in here a tubular reabsorption, if you see in here, this is the nephron and this is a glomerulus. So here this is a peritubular capillaries. These are peritubular capillaries, and this is a DCT. So from peritubular capillaries it enters into the distal convoluted tubules. So here it is produced from nephric filtrate. It is produced from this is we can call as tubular reabsorption. We can call as a tubular reabsorption. This is called as, that means from PCT, that means from nephron, from nephric filtrate. This is a nephric filtrate. So from nephric filtrate it enters into the peritubular capillaries, we can call as a tubular reabsorption, and from peritubular capillaries into the PCT, the distal convoluted tubule, we can call as the tubular secretion. So it is a reverse of that means tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion, they are opposite to the one another. So here from the peritubular capillaries into the nephric from peritubular capillaries into the nephric filtrate, the substances are filtering. So here it is this process we can call as the tubular secretion, and here it is not essential. That means here all non-essential substances are filtered from peritubular capillaries into the tubular, that is a distal convoluted tubules. So here along with this, here it produces the H plus ion, the hydrogen ions, the potassium ions, and also here it helpful for reabsorption into the secretion, into the tubular secretion, into the tubular secretion, and also the harmful substances like urea, uric acid, creatinine and hippuric acid that are secreted from peritubular capillaries into the DCT, where here at the end of tubular secretion 180 liters of urine is converted into 1.5 liter of urine. It is converted. So this is we can call, that means what are the harmful substances. Along with this here toxic substances, along with drugs which are molecules or drug substances which are presenting, that are excreted into the from peritubular capillaries into the DCT, that is distal convoluted tubule. From distal convoluted tubule that are carried to the and collecting that, from collecting that they are transferred to the urinary bladder, through the urinary bladder, through the urethra, these are excreted outside from the body. Why means these are very harmful substances which are secreted after the ending of urine formation. Here these are the harmful substances are eliminated from our body, so that 180 liters of the water which is taken place into our body, here only 1.5 liter of urine only we are eliminating in the form of urine, and remaining 78.5 liter of water is reabsorbed into the intestine, that is absorbed into interstitium of the blood of the nephron, that is taken place. So this is how it is taken place, the urine formation, that is it takes place by 3 steps. What are the 3 steps means? First one is glomerular filtration, and second one is a tubular reabsorption, and a third one is a tubular secretion. And coming to the last one, here a composition of an urine. Coming to the last one, that is a composition of urine, how it is taken place, now will be discussed. Now coming to the chemical composition of urine, that is here chemical composition, the chemical composition of urine, where the color of the urine is strayish yellow, yellow color, where here it consists of a chromosome, that is urochromes are presenting urochromes. So due to the presence of the urochrome means here coloration of the coloration of urine is given, coloration of urine or urea. The coloration of urea is taken place due to the presence of a urochrome, where here the urochrome is depending upon the type of a diet. It is urochrome is depending on diet. That means what type of food materials we are taken place, such type it is converted into the urea, that color will be produced. And also here 95% of water is 95% of water is presenting in the form of urine, and the pH value here, pH of urine is 5.5 to 7 it is presenting. And also here along with this 90% of water, here 5% of containing organic and inorganic substances. It consists of organic and inorganic. Here mainly the chief organic substances is urea. Along with this urea, it consists of uric acid, creatinine. These are the uric acid. These are the where main chief organic substances is urea. Later it is uric acid, creatinine, and also here the inorganic salts. Here consist of the salts that are the sodium chloride, potassium chloride, and also the salts of sulfuric acid, the salts of sulfuric acid, salts of sulfuric acid, and salts of phosphoric acid. The phosphoric and acid, here it consisting both organic and 5% of substances consist of the organic and inorganic, such as chief organic substance is urea. Along with this urea, it consists of uric acid, and also creatinine, and also inorganic substances like sodium chloride, potassium chloride, salts of sulfuric acid, and the salts of phosphoric acids. These are presenting, and 90% of water is in the form of 95% water is presenting in the form of urine, and remaining 2% is in the form of here 95% it is the form of urine, and 2% that is in the blood. In the blood, here it consists of urine content is presenting in the blood, that is 25 to 30 DLs, that means dilutions are taken place in 100 ml of blood. 100 ml of a blood, here it consists 25 to 30 dilutions of blood. And also urine, if in urine it consists of the salts, it consists of 5 to 10% dilutions in 100 ml of 100 ml. And also here the main process is it takes place the maturation. So what is maturation means, or otherwise we can call this as urination also. What is urination or maturation means? Expelling of or expelling of excretory waste materials, expelling of waste materials, expelling of waste materials through the urethra or through the anus from the outside of the body. That means here expelling of waste materials through the urethra or the anus, that is expelling outside of the body. So this process, that means removing of waste materials from the body, is called as the maturation, or we can call as urination. That means elimination of urine or urea through the urethra or through the anus. Here elimination is taken place. So this process from outside of the body, these are sent outside of the body. So this process we can call as the maturation. This is where we can call as the chemical composition of the urea. That is chemical composition of a urine, where it is an strayish in yellow, where urochromes are presenting, where urochromes is depending upon the diet of the food materials. pH is 5.5 to 7 it is presenting. So this is where that is the chemical composition of an urea. So in a next class we will discuss that is about the what are the, that means we will discuss in next class we will discuss the the concentration of urine. We will discuss about the concentration of urine and also the regulation, the hormones which are affecting regulating of the kidneys. That means the regulation of hormones by the kidneys or the nephrons. And later we will discuss the disorders which are related in the kidneys or excretory system. That will be discussed in the next class.